2, 1. And we're live. ESP 013 with Jordie Roque, aka Jordie Alois McCree.
That's me.
As you are on the Book of Face.
Hello.
Hello. So Jordie is our second official non-binary guest, and I'm very excited. I know you didn't get a chance to listen to Elle Newman's podcast, which I was really bummed about because Elle is somebody that we get along great because we're both like super into makeup, and they have amazing non-binary like makeup fashions. And just with the hairstyles, they have like a faux hawk type of thing that they style, and like the best eyeshadow I've ever seen. So we talk about makeup all the time and just totally geek out on that. But I'm really excited to have you here.
Thanks.
On the show. I love that you have all the best like hair colors. I love it.
Thank you.
So this is, I think the blonde, like the dirty blonde, is one of my favorites, like the natural one, like you have now.
This is very tame for me now.
I did like the pink and purple though.
Yeah.
Pink and purple are two of my favorite colors.
They're good colors.
Yeah. Do you find like your hair gets like really kind of frizzy and dry when you do a lot of dyeing?
Only sometimes, but it's very quick to bounce back. So.
Only slightly.
Only slightly. Only just a bit.
So I love that intro so much. Whoops. Peak meter's pinging.
Oh.
That's okay. So I love that intro so much, but unfortunately, we can't actually use it on the podcast, on the YouTube video.
Oh no.
Because of copyright. Yay.
Yay, love copyright. Woo.
So I reached out to The Midnight, and The Midnight is the band that is playing in the background. And I reached out to their manager, and I tried to get them to let me use that song without any of the royalties or to try and work out a contract. And they were kind of like, okay, what was your name again? Where are you from? And you're using it on this intro for what? And they're like, yeah, that's very interesting. Let me get back to you. And they never got back to me. So I'm just going to continue to pester them and email them as much as possible until they finally answer me, even if it's no. Because I'm like, how are you a manager and you just don't answer somebody? You're the manager of a professional, fairly popular band.
Isn't that how most managers are, though?
Yeah. So, Jordie works at Bath and Body Works, which I'm really excited about because I need you to help me pick out a new fragrance.
I could try. It's kind of my job.
Because Jordie said to me, what kind of fragrance do you like? And then you described a bunch of different musk and sort of dry or fresh. And I said, I like fruity fresh. Fruity fresh peachy. Beachy, and peachy.
Yes.
And you were like, oh my god, me too.
It's the only ones that I like.
Yeah, so high five for having obviously the best taste and smelling good.
Thank you.
So I think our circle of friends knows you as the Overwatch personality.
I do.
And I think
I'm guilty.
If the McCree wasn't a giveaway.
Surprise. I love McCree.
So I've actually not played much Overwatch at all. I'm just really into the fandom.
Oh, yeah. It started with the fandom, and then I got into the game, and my life hasn't been the same since.
I mean, I'm just obsessed with the characters. So what is the actual... So I know it's one of the biggest things, but slowly being replaced by Fortnite and PUBG. Unfortunately. I think, well, I don't want to say replaced, but I just feel like everyone is talking about PUBG and everyone is talking about Fortnite.
Yeah, it's kind of like, like the space in between of like, oh, I don't want to play Overwatch. There's other games that I could play, but they always come back to Overwatch, so...
Alright, well that's good. So hopefully when I finally get around to getting Overwatch...
Oh, yeah.
So I made the mistake of getting... Well, not the mistake, but... I wanted to fill in the gap of time that I had between the beginning of July and September 4th, which is obviously the release of Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider game.
Oh, I can't wait.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Which is going to be amazing because I also have, so I went out to GameStop, the Evil Empire, and I picked up the used copy of, actually no, it was a new copy because they had like a special sale on Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice.
So, have you played it?
Yes. I didn't get very far with it.
Did I already ask you about this?
I believe so,
okay.
Yes.
How far did you get?
I got up to the point of with Alois when she had to like do some type of battle training, kind of like their like initiation. The proving.
Did you run in the proving?
Yes.
Just bring that mic a little bit closer to your face.
Yeah. Just don't want to knock down the phone. It's fine. Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
It's funny because Joe Rogan is one of my favorite podcasters. Another shout out to Joe Rogan. If you're listening, please have me on your show. I would love to talk. I'd love to talk nerdy stuff, and I would love to talk transgender issues with you, because Joe Rogan is someone who is very middle ground on trans issues, is very open, but is more, I think, traditional, kind of live and let live type of mentality, but always talks about how his mind is open to learning. So I think it seems like most of the people that have interacted with him are just full-on SJWs, or I know he's got some trans friends, but I think it would be beneficial to actually have a trans person come on that's willing to just actually have a discussion and a dialogue, especially someone else that's in the look at me just hyping myself up for whatever it is in the future that he's not even listening.
It's fine. He's listening in spirit.
A girl can dream, right?
Exactly. Girl can dream.
And I would really like to meet ContraPoints. I think that's more realistic. And that was Jordan is actually, I guess, friends with ContraPoints. So hopefully maybe someday we can get like a 3-person podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Hopefully.
There you go.
So
it's a start.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about gender issues for a little bit, speaking about that.
Okay.
So gender issues and sexuality. So I don't know what made me think of it, but I remember my whole seg for this.
All right.
So do you like my robe?
Your robe?
Whatever this is. I don't even know what this thing is called.
Cute little blouse, maybe?
Yeah. Wait, what is a parka?
A parka is like a jacket with like those big heavy-duty jackets, aren't they?
So what is Penguin in a Parka?
Penguin in a Parka?
That's a TV studio, right? Or a production company for like a major network.
I don't know. Is it?
I think.
No idea.
It was I don't know if it was. I think it was one of those shows like Big Bang Theory. Maybe. It has a production company called Penguin in a Parka, and I just wasn't sure what this was. So. But this, I had no idea how to tie it in. My ex, who's on pretty good terms with me now, ex-wife, because I was dating women, and that's the benefit of being what I thought was bisexual, what I now know is hetero-flexible, is that we get to experience all these different. I got to that led me to what I know I like, which is hetero-flexibility, which is my favorite term because I had no idea what my sexual identity was forever, because transitioning is hard enough.
That is very true. And then
as you transition and after you're on hormones, your sexuality changes for sure.
It's very fluid. Yeah. I want to say that.
Even if it's just a little bit, most of the people that I've either listened to or talked to report some sort of change in sexuality. Even if it's slight, for some people it's slight, for some people it's major. And when Elle was on, and go back and whoever's listening, go back and listen to the podcast with Elle Newman. Elle, a.k.a. Laura Newman, a.k.a. Laura Newman. They do a lot of fluidity between first names. So go back and watch that or listen to that podcast, because that was the one that we have that was just audio only. And they talk about sort of coming out as trans and then starting the hormones, and then they had this really interesting story how they said that before they were on hormones, they always thought that they were asexual and like nothing was really sort of working or jiving quite the right way in their relationships. And then they started TRT, and then they were like, oh my god, I just want to have sex with all my friends. What is happening? What is going on? It's like this like every day. So, but for me, being on HRT with the estrogen, my sex drive has basically been reduced to 0. It's been obliterated, and then it was reformed into sort of heteroflexibility. And are you familiar with heteroflexibility?
Yes.
Right. So, so heteroflexibility is just mostly straight, but you're flexible. You're kind of kink friendly, and then you're into men and women, or in my case, it's primarily men. Obviously, I have a boyfriend who I love very much.
Oh.
Hi, Josh. So, So tell me about your experience coming out as non-binary.
Oh God.
Because everyone has an amazing story, and
Gosh, I don't even know. It's even before these terms have ever come into play, and now everyone knows about them. I had no idea. I was about maybe like 12 years old, and I had no idea what identity was, or if I was even a person at that point.
I don't think anyone does.
No.
High school was a mess for me.
Yeah, it was just one big mess. I just didn't felt like I fit in anywhere on the spectrum. It was just a big jumble of a mess, but
a lot of a lot of non-binary people that I've talked to said the same thing, that they just didn't really fit into any neat category.
Yeah, that's just pretty much the only way to like best describe it, I guess. It's a mood, you know.
Which makes sense because gender is a spectrum.
It is.
In my mind, sex is not the same as gender.
Right, exactly.
Just because of the vocabulary and the way that we describe it. So a lot of these people, when they reference the science, you're absolutely correct. You're born with the right or wrong parts, depending, or if you're intersex, that's a whole other topic. But then you develop a gender identity,
exactly,
which is fluid. For a lot of individuals, it's always in flux, and I don't understand why gender is just lumped in with sex. Because one scientist in the 70s said that the scientific term for gender was the same scientific term for sex at birth. So I just don't understand why we can't run with the gender, or the word gender, the actual, think of the word as the word and what it means at the spectrum, and save sex for the markers, the physiological markers in the chromosomes.
Exactly.
Why? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a fight to this day with a lot of people who are just like, you have these parts, so you must be X, and it's like, this has nothing to do with my parts. Leave the parts out of this conversation. Thank you.
That's inappropriate to ask.
Yeah, like I've had people ask me that, and it's just like, it's not your business.
No, it's not.
You're a stranger. Yeah. Like, no.
Why are you so interested in exactly what is going on there?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So like ever since then, even now, I'm very content with where I am now. It's the one that I feel like most represents me.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, back to the Nerdcast.
All right.
So, Overwatch. Do you play it like every night?
I play every night. Every night.
That was like me with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah, when I bought that game too, I was like spending like several hours a day.
So yeah, so the whole point of what I was saying before was that I made the mistake of trying to fill time with Horizon Zero Dawn, and now I'm not going to be done until Christmas.
I know. Oh, I need to get back into it.
So good, and Alois is.
I love her.
A feminist dream.
I love her so much.
The sass level intensifies.
It intensifies, yeah.
The further that you progress down the story.
Good.
And she just becomes this unstoppable spitfire, just in combat and in conversation.
Oh, make me want to play it now.
So, who's your favorite character in Overwatch?
Oh.
For me, it's Mercy, just because I'm a Mercy nerd, hack, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. Aside from McCree. I love May. May's probably
that's right.
She's another one of my mains, but like I never get to play her.
I really did enjoy your May cosplay.
She's my favorite. I love her so much.
Which was, so Jordie did the lacquered chopsticks.
I did.
The waifu material t-shirt, and then you also had something else, right?
I also had like a maid's uniform, and I was walking around AAC with like a little catering plate.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was cute.
So since AAC, I made the mistake of watching Black Butler.
The best mistake you could ever make.
So I want to, because we're on the topic, I want to seg into anime now for a second.
All right, cool.
Black Butler has become one of my favorite animes. Definitely top 10. At least for now.
For now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because Fairy Tail is pretty incredible. I'm watching Fairy Tail right now. And Food Wars actually might be, Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma might be my number 2 favorite anime.
Number 2. Ooh.
All time. So we'll get back to. Have you seen Food Wars?
I've only seen like a couple episodes.
Yeah, a lot of sexual innuendo.
I've seen some things.
Seen my Snapchats?
I've seen your snaps.
Spoiling the sexual innuendo.
Ruining all the good parts for me.
So, Black Butler.
Black Butler.
Pretty much my whole life, my whole nerd life, people told me that Black Butler was the anime that you shouldn't watch because if you do, it will forever ruin you.
Yeah. Like, avoid at all costs.
Yeah. But it's incredible, but it will definitely ruin you.
Oh, yeah. Once you dip in, you can't get out.
Especially my Seal and Alois ships.
Oh. Oh no, we're bringing ships into this, you guys. Next is gonna be Sebastian and Claude.
G-rated.
G-rated, alright. They're just holding hands.
Yeah.
That's my ship.
Okay.
Hand holding.
I love his soon-to-be wife, his betrothed, Seal's betrothed.
Elizabeth?
Yeah. See-you.
She's so cute. I didn't like her at first, but then like...
She grew on me.
Yeah.
And also the canon trans character.
Grell? Baby Grell.
Who I'm cosplaying.
Good.
For AAC.
Nice.
I love Grell so much.
Me too.
And
she's good.
Yes, and she uses she or hers pronouns, which is amazing because a lot of animes will.
They don't really like specify that.
Yeah, and it was confirmed that she's canon trans by the creator.
Good.
So, and my favorite, I lost my mind when they did one of the bonus episodes when they had Grell checking in to do her makeup, and she was walking in, and there's like not a hidden camera, but somebody was like kind of, you could tell it was like
yeah.
She just kind of freaks out, and she's got the face mask on.
Yes.
And she goes, "Don't look at me. She's like, I haven't done upkeep or put my makeup on yet."
She's so cute.
And I'm like, oh my god, that's me. That's every trans woman's dysphoria, nightmare.
Aww. That's heavy relatable.
Tell me about why Alois is your favorite. No, not Alois. Sorry. Alois.
Alois.
Alois, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just a sweet baby, and I fell in love with him after you realize his tragic backstory that turned him into a little terror. But like,
yes,
it was just tough. And
Ole.
He's so cute. I love him. He's my favorite.
He's pretty incredible.
He is. He has a very like eccentric personality.
And of course, the main character. Well, I think Seal is the main character.
Seal, yeah.
Sebastian.
Yeah. The whole story revolves around them. They were just kind of just in the storyline.
Akumare shujuji desu kara. That weeb-ish in full swing on ESP, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there it is. There it was.
There it is. If we had a dinger, I would ding it right now.
Just tally all the times you've been weebs on.
So, yeah, Black Butler.
Black Butler.
What's your favorite anime?
My favorite anime? Oh gosh, I haven't. I think my favorite like all-time anime for what got me into anime was probably like Dot Hack.
Oh, I think it was Jordan who was telling me all about Dot Hack. Tell me, refresh my memory again on Dot Hack.
Let's see. The original Dot Hack series followed around one of the characters named Tsubasa. Or is it Tsukasa? Tsukasa, I think. Tsubasa's another anime. Anyways.
Tsukasa?
But it's just it's very, everyone always likes to relate to it to like Sword Art Online, but Dot Hack came out way before that, and they already did that trope of you can't log out of the game type of stuff, and people were like falling into comas and
and that's exactly what we talked about. Okay, I remember that's exactly what we talked about when Jordan and I discussed Dot Hack. Was she had said that it's Sword Art Online came up somehow, and then she basically described it, and I said, "Yeah, that's Sword Art Online." She said, "No, that's Dot Hack."
Yeah, Dot Hack is really old.
So that was the precursor. Kind of like the one that I saw that was similar was Guns.
Yes, there's also
which was really good. It was really interesting.
There's also another one out there that I can't remember the name of, but someone recommended it to me. It was like, "Hey, if you like this one, you probably like this one. It's kind of the same." And I'm like, "Thanks, I forgot about it now."
Sword Art Online was interesting because season 2 had the forced transition of the main character. He was forced into a female avatar, and they just sort of kind of made a mockery of it.
A little bit, yeah.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. Yeah, we don't talk about season 2 of Sword Art Online anyways.
Season 2 doesn't exist.
No, we should have just stopped at season 1.
Yes.
It's fine.
I mean, the sniper girl, whatever her name was.
Oh, yeah.
Was,
Shion. Was it?
Yeah.
Shion?
Yeah.
She was really cool. She was probably the only best part about that.
So, Dot Hack. Yes.
Dot Hack.
Hack's your favorite?
One of my favorites. I grew up with it. Played the video games. Collected the manga.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's right. There was a whole video game series, too.
There was, yeah.
So Cowboy Bebop is my thing.
Ooh, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. So we don't really have anything new to talk about. So we're just kind of nerding out right now, which I like.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's something that I could keep a consistent conversation
Oh,
going.
yeah. I mean, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, September 4th, and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, October 14th.
Oh, we're so close.
Yes.
October.
Have you seen all of the previews and the gameplay trailers for Odyssey?
I haven't seen. I don't know if there was more than one from what I saw, but I liked what I saw. So I'm kind of sold on it already.
Did you see the Cassandra gameplay trailer?
No, I didn't see that one.
You know about that, right?
Is it like the part where like...
It's 14 minutes.
It's 14 minutes?
So there's the initial trailer, which is about 2.5 minutes.
I think that was the one that I probably saw.
So there's 2 main characters.
Right.
Alexios and Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both the same, which is amazing. And the applause when that was revealed was incredible. I mean, I myself jumped off of my couch because I'm that much of a nerd. I jumped off of my couch and cheered and almost spilled my drink.
Oh,
Because I was so
no.
excited about being able... So, I mean, nobody cares about Alexios. Let's just get that out there right now. Everyone just wants to thank Cassandra, myself included. So, another feminist dream. Okay, Alois came first, but with Cassandra... Okay, so you've seen 300, right?
The movie 300?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
This is Sparta. So the Sparta kick, right?
Yes.
When King Leonidas kicks that dude in the pit.
In the murder hole, yeah.
The murder hole.
That's what I call one of the maps in Ilios in Overwatch, anyway.
A murder hole?
There's a murder
There's
hole.
one in there?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I definitely need to get Overwatch so we can play together. And you can show me yours.
Yes.
So, okay, so the Spartan kick
Yes.
is Cassandra's special move. So you charge up the Sparta kick,
What?
and then she just and like lets loose and just Sparta kicks the crap out of people
Oh my
as a
god.
special move. And I also jumped out of my seat when that one. Not as high as the first time, but I think I just mainly had like
The type of reaction? Yeah.
hype
same.
intensifies.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I would let her Sparta kick me into a murder hole.
Right?
I'm fine with that. It's cool.
Yeah. Same.
Same.
Those are the 2 upcoming games that I'm most excited for. And we don't even have a release date for Cyberpunk 2077 yet, which is a real bummer.
Huh.
In fact, one of the co-creators, the creator of the actual tabletop, said that it might even be another few years.
Another few years?
I
Oh.
was like, oh no,
That's pretty sad.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I basically had the song from the trailer. It's called Hyper Spoiler. I had it on repeat. I still have it on repeat in my playlist.
Nice.
My YouTube playlist, because I don't. does anybody actually use MP? Okay, am I the only one that just creates a YouTube playlist and plugs in my phone to my car and just plays the YouTube playlist
No,
for music?
I do
You
that too.
Does everyone do that?
I do that too.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's universal.
Okay.
I would hope so.
And then they keep trying to get me to pay for YouTube Red.
I don't want to do that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Although YouTube Red has the Karate Kid
Oh.
remake. I think it's YouTube Red. I think, right?
I think so, maybe.
Which I'm probably gonna get the YouTube Red at some point. The YouTube's Red.
The red YouTube.
Just to watch the Karate Kid. So if you've seen it, let me know how it is. I've heard good things so far. I don't know if it's worth. Yeah, it's okay. It's worth the $10. I've been waiting my whole life for that.
Okay.
especially how they kind of Daniel is now like the a-hole, and
He's the a-hole.
yeah, he's turned into like that. He's turned into that guy. He's like a typical bro dude.
Oh
who
no.
sells cars. Yeah.
Oh.
Daniel-san.
Oh, Daniel-san. Why?
Well, no. Well, then the guy that he what's his name? Johnny. Johnny is like the reluctant, risen from the ashes hero. He's like drunk in his apartment every day, and he wakes up and there's beer bottles everywhere and old pizza, and he's disgraced, and he's just picking up odd jobs. And Daniel he owns his own car dealership, and they eventually cross paths. But Johnny has a moment that Mr. Miyagi had in the first Karate Kid, where Johnny is kind of walking back from the store or the bar, wherever he's at, and a bunch of kids are bullying this one kid. They're like tossing him around, and I think one of them throws him into his truck or something. He's like, "Hey," and he has a Mr. Miyagi moment where he comes in, and the kids are like, "What are you gonna do, old man?" And Johnny whips out his Cobra Kai karate, and just totally kicks the crap out of all these kids.
Oh my gosh!
It is incredible. It is incredible.
Wow.
And like so this other kid was like, "Wow, is that karate?" And he's like, "A form of it." And then you hear like the drums in the background, like bum 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 bum. And then
that's intense.
And then you hear, well, I think that was the second trailer, but the first trailer had like little hints.
Right.
But like the one with the drums, you hear like the bum 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 bum, and then there's like the silence and dramatic, rising tension.
Yes.
And then you hear in the background, "Fear does not exist in this dojo. No sensei.
No sensei.
Pain does not exist in this dojo." And then you sort of get an idea of what's happening, and they throw some clips in there, and then you hear Johnny. He's like, "I'm going to teach you the style of karate that was taught to me."
Oh.
And then you see his dojo, and he's got all these kids that are like, clearly they've just, like, you can tell just where they're going with it. It's all these kids that have been bullied and picked on, and bought and like kicked around and shoved in lockers. And he's taken all of these kids that are basically just bullied in school and high school, and he's training these kids in Cobra Kai karate. And I'm just like, my whole life has come full circle. This is amazing. So I'm going to spend the $10 on it at some point just to watch it.
All right, there you go. That's
thoughts.
No. I mean, you had a good, like, in this essay, I will talk about why I want YouTube Red subscription.
To YouTube Red.
YouTube Red. I mean.
Oh my goodness. So I'm really excited.
Good.
Are there any games that you're looking? So yeah.
King.
Back on topic.
Yes,
so,
Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Hyperscaler. What is a scaler? I always make up new words every time I'm on this podcast.
Know, but
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Perfect. I'm really glad you mentioned that.
Good.
Walk me through Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Walk me through.
I'm the wrong person to ask because I've been so like out of loop for so long.
Okay, give me like the brief Reader's Digest version. Kingdom Hearts 1. Let's start there because I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 1.
You didn't play Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2?
Not a second of either of the games.
Oh my gosh.
So walk me through the
I have to leave.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Why does he have a Keyblade? Who are the guys in black that are like the stereotypical anime villains?
That's Organization 13. They're a bunch of nobodies.
Okay.
Do I have to explain the whole Heartless Nobodies thing that like everyone gets confused about?
Sure.
Because no, I'm the worst person for that.
I'm sure that we have a lot of listeners that are interested in Kingdom Hearts. We must.
We must be. It's
I'm just
an old series.
The one outcast that's gonna be. I'm gonna be stoned.
No, that's.
I'm gonna be stoned after this for saying I never played Kingdom Hearts 1.
Well, like the last game I ever played was Birth by Sleep, and then ever since then I haven't had a chance to play any of the other games. I never had the consoles or the handhelds at the time, so like.
Did you see the trailer for Sea of Solitude?
Sea of Solitude?
Sea of Solitude, yeah.
No. Oh, Sea of Solitude. Yes, that's the one with like the cute little girl, little sea creature type of thing.
So do you know the premise?
She's cute. No.
Okay, the premise is that all those creatures
are
her emotions. she's sort of stuck, and that the world she's in is her depression,
Oh, okay.
and she has to, or just her overall mental health, and she has to claw her way out of sort of the depths of despair and fear to overcome her inner demons that are manifest outwardly as these physical entities.
Oh, I see. All right. Kind of reminds me of Hellblade a little bit.
That was a game that was specifically about mental health issues, right?
Yes, it was.
The main character's name was Senua.
Yes.
Did you play it?
I didn't play it. I watched someone play it.
Oh, okay.
Watched someone play
And it was incredible.
I really liked it visually. It was a good design. Not that many people had good reviews on it.
Really?
Yeah, they were kind of iffy about like the gameplay because they expected so much more than.
It won some awards at the Game Awards this past year. For sure.
I think so. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
I believe it was something to do with story too, because it was a woman that came up to accept it, and she said, "Thank you for choosing my game or voting for my game, because it's very important that we bring attention to serious mental illness and mental health and behavioral health issues that face so many people, especially young women." And I was like, "Oh, damn! You go, girl."
It was good, and I really like the lore behind it. I think it was like, oh gosh, what is it? I just forgot the word. Folklore of like
It looked Norse.
Norse. There we go. That's the word.
Which God of War was? I still have yet to play God of War.
Oh, please play God of
I
War.
know.
Please.
It's sitting on top of my PS4. I was gonna finish.
It's so good.
Boy.
It's so good. It makes you want to go and play the other games. That's how it's gonna make you feel.
So it inspired my brother to buy like however much money he spent on Norse mythology books.
Oh yeah.
He walked in the house with like a big box from Amazon one day, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's books on Norse mythology. I was inspired by God of War."
That's how they get you.
Did you see the Boy on Me parody on YouTube?
The Boy on Me parody?
Yeah. So it was Take on Me
but
from Aha, but with the whole thing was just an auto-tune version of Kratos
just saying
boy to the tune of Take on Me.
Oh god. That sounds good. I need to check that out. I love me some Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy.
Dad of
Boy. Boy. And then there's also the boy drinking game, which they did on Angry Joe. On the Angry.
Oh, I love the Angry Joe show.
Really? You're the first person I've ever had on that's actually been like, yes, Angry Joe.
Yes.
Hi, Angry Joe.
Angry Joe.
We love you.
I love him. I used to watch like Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah.
Nostalgia Critic. All those folks.
I haven't watched Angry Video Game Nerd in a while, but Angry Joe, I like Angry Joe.
I love Angry Joe.
Like
my friend
humor.
got me into him.
Yeah.
So.
I'd love to podcast with him too.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up, Joe? Joe or other Joe, whoever you want to send on the podcast.
Both Joes. Can we have two Joes, please?
I love that. Can we have them both as a third mic? I love that in their video cast they refer to, they say other Joe.
Other Joe. Here, me and the other Joe.
Joe and other Joe.
Joe and I.
So Kingdom Hearts. So what were you saying about the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness? Sounds like a Smashing Pumpkins album.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
the whatever they're called, the Smashing Pumpkins characters.
Oh, Smashing Pumpkin characters.
The Infinite 13, whatever they were.
Oh, Organization
13.
See, that's like Kingdom Hearts 2 territory.
Okay.
So like Kingdom Hearts 1, this is I feel like this is gonna be like a 50-page essay of me explaining Kingdom Hearts.
No, honestly, I was just talking
for like
the whole time. It's so
complicated that there's a literal like Google document that's like public that you can look, and someone broke it down into segments to explain the game. I'm sure people have seen it because
Is that in depth?
Yeah, it's in depth. Like it tells you like
I can see why
this
people
boy
like it.
and has a picture of Sora is related to this boy because of this outcome, and then has these characters, and it's just a giant mess of Keyblade.
So what's with the Keyblade? Let's start there.
So, from my knowledge, the Keyblade is given to people who are what's the word? Like proteges
Okay.
from people in the past who are Keyblade masters. So Sora inherited that power. These are like spoilers, but from
So spoiler warning
spoilers
for the games that have been out forever.
Well, Birth by Sleep started the story, so it is the prequel to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All the characters you see that are what started, and then coincide with
Birth
all the
by
rest.
Sleep?
Birth by
I've
Sleep.
even
It's a
heard of that.
PSP game.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Did they ever do a PS3 port?
I don't. I think so. Maybe a little bit. I know there's a lot of games now that they imported to PS3 and PS4 that you can play now, like 2.8, which I briefly played. Dream Drop Distance is another good one that I never finished. Dream Drop Distance 3D. It's pretty much takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2, I want to say, because there's like a little in between. It's like Chain of Memories is in between 1 and 2. Then there's Days, which takes place in the middle of 2 or before 2. My memory just isn't there anymore because trying to keep track of Kingdom Hearts and their plot. Yeah.
Somebody I was watching on YouTube said that there's 100 other spin-offs.
Yes.
That it's going to be overwhelming for a lot of people to try and catch up.
Yes.
If they can at all.
Yeah.
But I think it was confirmed that there's going to be at least some sort of a recap.
Yeah.
At the start.
There should be, because the game release isn't what the story is chronologically.
Oh, it's not?
No. So like Kingdom Hearts 1 came out first, but Birth by Sleep was the pre-sequel.
So does 2 and 3 follow in order though?
No. There are like 2 games that come before 2 and 3. Like Dream Drop Distance is a little bit after 2.
But I mean, like, if you're looking at just 1, 2, and 3, do those go in sequence?
I want to say yes.
Oh, okay.
I want to say yes, because those 3 are like the
There's
main.
A lot going on here.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I'm very in and out of the fandom, and that's why I have a dumb Kingdom Hearts tattoo. It's right here. It's a little Paopu fruit.
Show the camera.
Yeah, I got a little Paopu fruit right there.
That's awesome.
A long time ago when I was a Kingdom Hearts.
What's a Paopu fruit?
So the Paopu fruit is the main staple of the first game. It's what the Destiny trio, which is Sora, Kairi, and Riku on the island.
Riku, like from Final Fantasy X?
No, different Riku. Different Riku.
I wasn't sure with the crossover.
I mean, they do show up in Kingdom Hearts 2, I believe, as like little sprite fairies. Yeah, you can like summon them. I believe Yuna, Riku, and Pain. Yeah, they come with cute little fairies. Yeah, very cute. I love Final Fantasy too.
A lot of my friends in high school had the Riku coming out of the water scene saved at that exact moment. It's still hot.
Yeah, I mean it is Square Enix, so of course they're gonna throw in some Final Fantasy with Kingdom Hearts.
You know what scene I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's the one with it's in 10.
Yeah.
Isn't it like near the beginning where she
sort of, yeah, and like she's in a submarine, and then
and she comes out of the water and
she's just kind of sexy coming out of the water, and she unzips and kind of slowly.
And I was like, that's it. That's the peak of this game. Nothing else is gonna compare to that.
You know what's funny is that all of my friends at the time, this is in high school, were like, and I was like.
Taking notes.
Taking notes.
On
how to be a sexy lady.
There you go, Riku. Good example. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Square Enix. Sexy fan service, and Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Which is weird to jump from one topic to the next because it's very kid friendly.
It is. It is.
So how do the Disney characters tie in?
So they're part of.
Tell me about that.
So they have different worlds in this universe, and each of these worlds are somehow connected and.
Like the multiverse.
Yes, kind of like a multiverse. So, once like the Heartless swarm the island, apparently doors have been opened, and they're allowed to explore these worlds. And Heartless, they're those little antennae guys, the little black guys, small little monsters.
Oh, okay.
Those cuties.
I'm not familiar.
If you've seen pictures of them, you'd probably recognize them by face.
Sounds like
but
Pikmin.
yeah,
Sounds think you're describing.
Yeah. It's just Pikmin. This is the wrong game, you guys. I'm thinking of Pikmin. I'm sorry. Yes, these little creatures who are definitely just like metaphors for darkness.
Okay.
And Kingdom Hearts is the door to light.
But also super cute.
But also they're super cute, and I love them. I want like 1 million plushies of every single one.
Kind of like the coconut pirates from Moana.
Yes.
I love the coconut
exactly
pirates.
Those.
Same type of situation?
Yes.
And I love that Moana's like, they're kind of cute.
Yeah. Same, Moana, same.
Right?
Yeah. So the Papu fruit is from their island.
Ya.
They're just gonna kill ya. I mean, I would let them. It's fine. That's how I want to die, anyways.
Just like we both like Cassandra, Spartan kick us in the abdomen.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean,
so the Papu fruit.
The Papu fruit, yes.
Papu, sorry.
That's okay. Is I forget the exact legend behind it, but if you split it and share the other piece with someone, you're connected to them forever, type of thing.
Okay.
It's that type of like cute little thing they had on the island. Yeah, I thought it was cute. So anyway, there's that story.
So one thing I wanted to bring up at some point in the podcast was characters in anime or gaming that are either confirmed canon or up for fan interpretation, whether they're non-binary.
Yeah.
I had mentioned that before. So from Fairy Tale, the one that I sent you all the info to.
Yes.
In anime, Eve. Who it's kind of suggested sometimes that they're non-binary, but then they also use he/his pronouns.
Yeah.
For him, so much respect for Fairy Tale. But then they just totally bash on trans women. But
yeah, that's
trans men and non-binary individuals are acceptable.
Apparently so, which isn't really fair because you gotta include them all, or leave.
Right. But that's the one example that I can think of. Now I know that characters that you expressed interest in cosplaying to start, even though I believe they're just confirmed female. Well, no, because they're an android, so nines. Right?
Yes, they're androids technically, so they don't really have a gender. They have been given a certain.
Perfect.
Yeah, they've been given a certain way to look, to present them into that way, I guess. I don't know if there was a certain character that like stood out to me the most, because they were all pretty much like cis passing. Like none of them really stood out as being like, oh, like that's questionable. Why would they? Yeah, the androids. Like even with like Detroit Become Human, that's also another thing because they're also androids.
Yeah, that's true.
And they can willingly change certain things about themselves. They could like remove their skin.
Yeah.
And like what's to say they could that body modifications don't exist.
That's true. They do have, but I think that they are like assigned a specific android gender.
They are
At creation.
They are, but they can be modified.
AFAC.
AFAC.
Female at creation.
At creation. Oh, I'm gonna use that now. I also thought of
AFA, assigned female at assembly.
I like that one too. Those are two.
AFA.
Those are very cute. We're all androids now, you guys.
Yeah,
This is the new. That's it.
Deal.
I was also thinking of another big anime character that I see a lot of is Krona.
Okay, tell me about Krona.
I think they're from. Oh gosh, what is that anime? Blue Exorcists?
Oh yeah.
The one with like
another one I've heard a lot of things about, never actually seen it. It keeps popping up
Same.
on my Netflix queue.
Same. I've never seen it. I just know about them.
Yeah. Krona.
I just know.
I'll have to look into that now.
Yeah.
So what specifically about Krona?
Their gender is never like designated.
Oh.
They don't know. I believe someone mentioned that they like to be called they.
Really?
It was like in like a little snippet of like their little like Wikia page or something. But
well, that would be confirmation right there.
That's something. It's something.
That's awesome.
It's something. I can't really think of anyone else besides like it's mostly like Tumblr related. So it's like like those people who get into like really like terrible discourse about certain characters, and they're
Oh,
like, this
yes.
character is trans and you can't change my
Tumblr
mind.
is notorious for that.
Yeah, so like what's his face? Naoto from Persona. Everyone's like, he's trans.
Oh, yes.
The cutie with the short hair and like he wears like a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Him. I have a friend who's like super big into Persona, and that's all he talks about.
Yeah.
Link is another popular one.
Ooh.
Link is trans,
That's
confirmed.
my favorite.
A lot of people go crazy about that one.
Yes.
Because it's just such an open thing to talk about when it comes to him. So
Female Gerudo Link is my favorite.
Female Gerudo Link.
Of
All right.
Well, all the Gerudos are female.
They are, yes.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
all females.
So female Link, the Gerudo version of Link, or I should just say the Gerudo version of Link.
Yes.
That's what I'm because I never got all the way through Breath of the Wild. I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm still playing it, but I'm at the very end. Like I have to like the master trials.
But I keep seeing Link in that.
And the Gerudo garb.
Is that what it is? Is it
yeah, it's their traditional like.
That's the picture I keep seeing.
Like trans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have been having fantasies about the character of Link since I was like 13.
Who hasn't?
So. Right. Well, thank you for validating my,
You're welcome.
my adolescent life.
You're welcome. Anytime.
That was the first time I ever questioned my sexuality.
Oh. Oof.
So,
Oof.
Well, now we know that it makes sense now because I'm a straight woman. But
yes, you found what fits you.
Right. But at that time I was like I'm so turned on and so confused at the same time.
I don't know what these pixels are doing to me right now, but it's something good. I hope.
It was the art on the cover of on the game guide to
the game guide.
It was the Link art on the cover of the game guide to the N60 Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it was the cover art for the strategy guide for Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm. And
it was adult Link, but he was wearing the white leggings that were like.
Oh, those.
They were really like sheer.
He was fancy.
They were really sheer, and then he had like the knee-high boots on and like the tight green tunic. And I was like, nope, that's it. Sold.
That's it. That's all I need to know.
Sold.
Thank you.
Take this into my bedroom.
I take this into my bedroom. And that's
cry.
it. And then cry a little.
Because I'm so confused. But seeing that Gerudo Link like totally validated my whole adolescence.
Yeah.
And that's my favorites.
Me too.
My favorite photo.
Oh.
On Tumblr. So, other characters that you can think of? That are
I have some Overwatch characters.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of
theory?
Yeah.
Or is it okay?
It's a lot of like mostly like fanon stuff, so it's kind of like
Let's hear that one. That's your wheelhouse too.
Oh yeah, because it's one of my favorite
OW.
ones. I love OW so much.
So
yes. McCree.
Okay.
And most of the fanfics and art I've seen, I've always
I love dirty fanfics.
Dirty fanfics. McCree is trans, and you can't change my mind.
Trans man. Right?
He's a trans man. Yes. Beautiful baby boy.
Where did that come from?
Well, there was just like a lot of like art because when you find out his character was in a gang and he ended up in Blackwatch with Gabriel, there's just a lot of like him being very like paternal towards him. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to imagine that when they found each other, he was transitioning and he didn't have a dad, so Gabriel kind of stepped in, and I just thought it was very sweet, you know.
That is a nice story.
Yeah, I just love it, and it's very cute. Another one that's probably like one of my friends' favorite is Moira.
Oh, okay.
Just because of their like physique and just they look so androgyny, so like
Tumblr loves Moira.
They love Moira, and I get it. I get it because who doesn't?
Right?
They're a little gremlin, and I love them. Despite the mean comments that people say about them, and
oh, I know.
and their like affiliation. But I think those are probably like my top 2 favorites.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So there's a character in Fairy Tale who is one of the crossovers from. So in how far are you in Fairy Tale?
Not very far, to be honest. It's been a while.
Okay, so in Fairy Tale, one of the arcs is they go to, coming back into the multiverse now, they go into an alternate reality.
Yep.
And they meet all different versions of themselves. Some are just different, some are totally different, some are way different. Some are villains, some are heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So Natsu can't handle, obviously, he can't handle transportation.
Yeah,
Natsu's
I remember
specialty
that.
in this universe is he's a transporter. And like a super souped up hot rod, a magical hot rod. Which is really funny. But he's also like kind of a wimp.
A little bit.
And like, yeah, if he like
a wimp.
in the alternate universe, as soon as he gets out of the car, the vehicle in the alternate universe, that's when he like loses control and becomes kind of like really soft.
Oh,
and,
a
like,
soft
he cries
boy.
a lot.
Oh, that's so cute.
A soft boy.
Soft boy. TM.
I love those phrases.
It's so good.
So there's a character but other than that, everyone is the same gender.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a character who is one of the villains who has this awesome white streak in his hair, and when we finally meet the versions of those individuals that are the versions that exist in this reality, in the Earthland reality, because they were sort of doing their own thing. That version of that character is a woman, and everyone's like, and they all so Natsu makes the usual like, hey, what are you doing wearing like dressing up in women's clothes now? Like, what's going on here? Because Natsu is like the typical bro,
right?
All the time when it comes like he makes jokes in poor taste about men wearing dresses like 4 times.
Oh my!
He's like, all right, writers, we get it, whatever,
yeah,
stop. But so he does the usual joke about that, but then it's kind of left ambiguous. So, and she's so pretty, and Taurus, who you know Taurus, Lucy's spirit, Taurus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The one who, nice buddy. So Lucy summons Taurus to fight her, and even Taurus is like, he just throws his axe down and stops fighting, and he goes, "Oh, but Miss Lucy, she's got a nice buddy too." And Taurus is unable to fight against this villain, but yeah, so everyone's gender is the same. In Alois and Earthland. Alois is the name of the alternate universe. But in Earthland, this character just happens to be a woman. And everyone's very confused by it, so I take it as they're trans. And it wasn't confirmed or denied otherwise.
Hey.
And they do have a lot of masculine traits.
Yeah.
That seem like kind of unintentional. Just like the way that they're drawn, but also very beautiful.
Huh.
So I am really excited, and so I've had it in my mind that is a canon trans character.
Yeah,
canon trans woman.
Yeah, we need that rep. We just need rep sometimes, you know.
I think it was accidental. Like
accidental.
Part of the creators, or like they thought it would just be something fun, maybe. But I don't know. But Eve made me think. Maybe there's somebody on the writing staff.
Maybe
somebody on the writing staff, especially after Eve, that was like, okay,
they're onto something here.
Yeah, someone in that writer's room is onto something.
Someone there wanted.
Then you've got Master Bob, who was the worst offensive representation of trans women.
Oh no! I think I've seen like stuff on like Tumblr about that.
It makes me nauseous just thinking about it.
Gross.
Yeah. Yes, I mean Japan is pretty. As weeby as we can be, Japan's pretty backwards when it comes to LGBTQIA rights.
A little bit, yeah. When it comes to their like their anime,
the youth now, our generation is making active strides. Well, and by active strides, I mean they are the most permissive generation that's ever existed in Japan. And when I was there, I talked to a lot of the college age kids, youths, people. Yeah, I talked to a lot of the people that are sort of our generation in Japan, and everyone I talked to, because I was there. after I started transitioning.
Mhm.
And everyone said the same thing. They're like, yeah, the older generation in Japan, they have this stigma, but our generation almost unanimously is kind of like, who cares? What's the problem? And they all said it just like that with the same inflection.
Exactly.
They're like, who really cares? Wait, how is that going to bother me?
Mm-hmm,
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
People do what they want. The youth almost unanimously in Japan it helps that they're a collectivist society, but they're almost unanimously accepting of everyone versus here in this country, we got like so many awful people our age that are transphobic or homophobic or racist.
Fix this.
So did you have anything else that you wanted to go over? We got a few more minutes left. Any other games that you're looking forward to? I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be
besides Kingdom Hearts 3,
in the next year or so after seeing this E3.
Can't really think of anything else, honestly. Nah, I got nothing. Got nothing.
I'm really looking forward to seeing when. Oh, Anthem is going to be good.
Anthem?
Hoping it's going to be good.
One
Can't
can
say
only
it's
hope.
Be good because if I say that, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, you're gonna jinx it now.
And Young one of my favorite YouTubers, has pretty much confirmed that Mass Effect is going to be coming back.
All right.
So I'm excited about that.
There we go.
And there are confirmed non-binary and trans characters in Mass Effect Andromeda. So Tumblr loves Mass Effect Andromeda. I love Mass Effect Andromeda. It's my favorite one out of all of them. And you can just, if you search Mass Effect Andromeda on Tumblr,
I'll see some good stuff.
Yeah, they talk about pronouns, and we talked a lot about pronouns too on the El Newman podcast. But I mean, you can only have that discussion so many times.
That's very true.
People have pronouns. Respect them.
Please, or
End
I'm
of
gonna
story.
bop ya. Anyways, I'm gonna come to your house
And bop ya.
and just bop ya on the head. That's it. It's just not that hard to do, folks.
Bop it.
Bop it.
Whip it.
Twist it.
Oh my god. And on that note, I'm very excited for gaming with all the female characters.
Yes.
And Skull and Bones with the 3 captains. There's a guy. There's just a guy, and then there's
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Who cares? Anyways.
A non-assuming, unimportant white guy.
Yeah, there we go.
And then there's a person of color, and then there's a woman, and those are the 3 captains.
All
the
right.
main characters.
Sounds good.
Very excited about that.
Yes.
And I believe it uses the Black Sails engine, so Black Flag engine.
Okay. That wasn't bad. I liked Black Flag, so.
I know. Black Flag was my favorite.
Same. I think it was one of the first games I ever
Pounded for
played.
that one. Boom.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like an updated Black Sails version.
All right. Okay.
Version 2.0.
2.0. All right.
Did you ever see, or Black Flag? Did you ever see Black Sails?
Black Sails.
Yes.
I don't
You
think
need to watch that.
so.
So Black Sails, and I posted about this on Tumblr, and we'll close with this. So if you haven't seen Black Sails, in preparation for Skull and Bones, the new Ubisoft game, which is basically Black Flag 2, in preparation for Skull and Bones, you should go watch Black Sails, because Black Sails was on Stars, and
I need to catch up on a lot of anime. I need to stop playing Overwatch so much so I can make some time for anime watching. Yeah,
relatable.
I'm just so behind on a lot of things, and I just don't want to see spoilers anymore.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's pretty much it.
All right.
That's it.
Cool. We had a lot of fun. This was fun. This was really nice to just sit down and not have a structure.
Yeah, it was just fun to
nerd
just
out.
talk about things like we usually do anyway.
Even though I did most of the talking.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm not a very good talker. I'm a great listener.
Apparently.
I am, yeah. I listen very well. That's it. That's all I got going for me.
So, ESP013, thank you everyone for joining us, for tuning in, to listening to us nerd out for a little bit. So yeah, so if you want to listen to, if you like podcasts and want to listen to a podcast where we just nerd out and talk about nerdy stuff that you don't usually hear in a lot of podcasts. Anime, gaming, with an L. So our sort of niche is that we're the LGBTQIA friendly nerdcast, which I think is awesome. And like, it's not just trans issues; it's everything.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. ESP013. You can go check us out on Patreon, where you can win some free weebish anime stuff. Free weebish anime figures on Patreon. Patreon.com/Eryn Spencer Podcast. On YouTube via the Eryn Spencer Podcast or Eryn Spencer Podcast. And obviously here on FRC Media, you can listen to the live stream. So, Jordie
Yes.
Alois McCree.
Hello, that's me.
Jordie Alois McCree.
That is me.
Thank you for coming on to chat.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a lot of fun. This is the most relaxed I've ever been in a podcast.
Good. As they should be.
Nice, relaxing way to decompress.
Yes.
After my stressful day.
Oh yeah, same.
So.
Same.
All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this kind of laid-back podcast. A little bit of everything. Pretty much the banner, what we're described as. This is it.
This is it.
This is the deal. Let's go with Pump It Up.
All right.
The Black Eyed Peas. Okay, thank
All
you,
right.
my lovely unicorns. ESP013. We will see you next time. Guests yet to be determined. Although we are having Samantha McMahon back on to nerd out about theater and Disney again. So stay tuned for that. That might be that's either going to be 2 weeks from now or the first week in September.
Sounds like fun.
Yes. So, thank you, my lovely unicorns. And y'all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Bye.